Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
I'm appalled at what you said on that pod thing. It's disgusting.
This is the After the Show podcast. It's where we get honest and real with your ass. So sit back, relax, have a blast, because it's time for the After the Show podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Monday KVJ After the Show podcast. Yeah. Hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. It was all good. Feel refreshed, relaxed, all ready to go?
Getting there.
Yeah, I actually don't feel good on Mondays usually. I'm a Tuesday to Friday man.
You are, huh?
Well, as far as I'm excited to be here. I'm not dreading being here at work. But as far as me working on all cylinders, I feel like I'm slightly off.
I think most people are like that. Monday is still kind of recuperation from whatever damage I did Friday and Saturday.
I still feel like a little kid. I get anxiety at Sunday night before the week starts, even if it's just low-lying anxiety because I just know the week's about to start.
You don't get excited to see the witch?
I mean, so excited. I'm
So you talked about that. What was Saturday for you? We talked about Thursday extensively. And
Thursday was pretty awesome. And then Friday I laid low.
Yes.
Friday I was with the kids. Mama was not drinking. But then Saturday was the concert. You know, that pre-party that I loved so much on Thursday was a pre-party for the concert.
You turned it up on Saturday?
I did. It snuck up on me because at first I was like, I'm going to drink beer the whole time.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And somebody handed me a vodka.
Oh, yeah.
And somebody else started telling me about this $300 bottle of tequila. And I was like, that's fancy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Okay, so it went vodka to tequila.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is like the beer, you know, if you go that path and you have good intentions when you're completely stone cold sober, and then the beer starts to loosen the inhibitions, it's a gateway alcohol.
It is.
And then it kind of like leads you into, then your vodka is like the next layer, and the next thing you know, you're doing tequila.
Sometimes the best nights are when I'm not drinking, I'm going to play it straight tonight, everything's going to be cool, and then you get a drink or two accidentally, like, oh yeah, sure, I'll take this $300 shot of tequila. Like, I'm kind of feeling good now. Let's get, motherfucker, doubles.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's how it all begins.
It does, but I like that when you're expecting not to have that kind of night, and it turns into that.
Mm-hmm. I got an email from Stephanie. She said Friday morning show was hilarious about Virginia's Thursday party night. I didn't realize I would have my own 10 moment that night. My kids were with their dad for the weekend, so I was getting pretty lit up. Got up in the middle of the night, walked into my 5-year-old's room, peed the bed, then went back to my room and fell back asleep.
You peed in your kid's bed?
I didn't realize it until Saturday morning and saw my son's sheets were thrown about, and then I remembered that I had a dream that I did pee the bed. The sheets and mattress were all wet, as well as a towel on the floor. I guess I had to try to clean it up myself. Needless to say, my son got a new mattress this weekend. Sorry, not sorry.
I love that.
Turn it up, mama.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you need a little party night.
Okay, she did on Friday.
How was your weekend? Did you turn it up at all?
No. Kid had we're in baseball season now, so he had baseball Friday and Saturday afternoon. And then college football is going on, and then yesterday, Sundays are work day for me. So.
To me, Little League baseball, definitely, that's drinking time.
Yeah, it is.
A Buttermaker, remember?
Yeah, that's right, Buttermaker.
I've got no kids playing. I just show up and drink.
Now, that would be a bit alarming.
Yeah, fortunately it was. I did have some beers here and there, but it wasn't anything too crazy. So, you know.
Kev, little bitch.
Yeah. Just boring Kev weekend. A few beers here and there. That's about it. Carly said, hey, I've been listening to you guys since I was 7, and I'm graduating college this year. I was catching up on the show over the weekend because a biochemistry degree tends to keep you a little behind on things. Anyways, I was cracking up listening to the segment on Virginia getting kicked out of Pirates Well. I'm wondering if you guys could tell the whole story based on Virginia and Jaybert's perspective or any other noteworthy KVJ drunk public stories. Well, we can't tell any because we have too many. We'd be here for 10 hours.
Someone just reminded me of one that I was. Remember that we had it on the air. It ended up getting on the air. I just started talking with this one girl, and we were out at Dr. Feelgood's, and I think we were like making out that night, and she left to go on another date with somebody, and we weren't supposed to hang out that night, but we ended up meeting out, and we were talking, and me and her get into this big fight right in front of Dr. Feelgood's, and people were filming it. And,
yeah.
Good stuff.
That's embarrassing.
Oh, it was so embarrassing. That was a good 9 or 10 years ago.
Susan from Seattle, what do you want to see us do, has an idea. Virginia's drunken rants and meltdowns seem to be the stuff of legends, but those of us out of the area will never get a chance to experience them live.
You don't want to be there, honey.
Yeah.
You want to hear about it, not live it.
So she likes to see Virginia drink a White Claw every 20 minutes for 3 hours during a show and then let her rip on the ATS. Please make it happen.
Oh, no.
Okay.
You know what? As much as we have fun joking about White Claw, I've never ridden it hard yet.
Oh, I have.
I had a couple of them one time, but I've never
Doesn't take a lot.
got on the claw and just said, "Let's do this."
I think I've ridden the claw 3 times hard. Like hard claw.
Red Claw.
Leave scratches.
The biggest one though is when Kevin was out of town and we did the White Claw challenge where every time I drank it with the left
Southpaw White Claw.
That was fun. But I mean,
he could only drink it with his left hand, and he kept forgetting and grabbing it with his right hand.
I think we started at 7 a.m. and
we would shock him every time.
It did get a little messy if you were listening at home. It did.
Somebody said, on a side note, I got a suggestion for Virginia regarding Rocco's behavior. Instead of punishing bad behavior, try rewarding good behavior. For example, take all electronics away, then if Rocco has a full day without swearing, let him have the device for 20 minutes in the evening.
Yeah, that's good.
As a bonus, if he also has no other disciplinary issues, biting, flashing, etc., let him use a second device for an additional 10 minutes. 30 minutes is it, and that's more than enough for a child his age. There you go.
I agree.
All right.
I do not. I don't agree with that, but that's okay.
Joy said, I think you guys all look great. Wanted to share that. But during a conversation with my 17-year-old son about past Super Bowl performances, he said that every time he sees Kevin, it reminds him of a fat-headed bargain brand Adam Levine. I don't see it. What do you guys think?
Fat-headed bargain brand Adam Levine.
First of all, it's a very hurtful comment. Let's just go ahead and get that on the record.
I think you and Adam Levine both have small heads. You don't have fat heads.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought I had a small.
You do.
That's almost my problem. My head seems too small sometimes.
It's too small.
You got a little
So let's
peanut
insult me on the
head.
other direction.
Yeah, let's go.
You got a peanut head. Your head clearly doesn't fit your body. We just can't figure out if it's too big or too small.
Have your son look back at some more photos and then give us a new analysis.
Yes. Let me see here. Got a couple other questions here and some emails. One about the turtle.
Yes.
The other, Jay Pennington, Joshua Pennington said, Jay-Bird, good job moving the turtle out of the road. I know some people were blasting you about that. I did the exact thing a few months ago. I wasn't sure if it went in the water or not, so I moved it into the grass between the water and the road. I take the critics all day over leaving the defenseless thing on the road. Yeah, people just...
Yeah.
Well, it's when you post something, you think, oh, this is fun. I love posting animal things, and you're not expecting people to shame you.
Car tire versus tortoise is never going to be good for him.
Well, and then the one, Jaybird, seriously, you're not supposed to pick these up with your hands. Emoji, like you're a dumb fuck emoji, whatever. What's that one called where the girls got
slap in the face?
Oh my gosh, you're such a dumb fuck. Yeah, that's the emoji.
We can't believe you.
Yeah,
you slap yourself in the face because it's just, oh my god.
I mean, seriously.
You can do one of those on yourself and your own actions, but you can't do one of those on somebody you barely know. That's just, if you do that, that is just calling them a dumb fuck.
Well, it should mean...
You might as well say, hey, you're a dumb fuck, and I think you're stupid.
Well, I know I do a lot of things wrong, but there's some things I just know in my gut they're the right thing to do. Moving the tortoise out of the road was the right thing to do, whether you're not supposed to touch them or not. Well, I'll tell you one thing they're not supposed to touch. It's a tire. That's one thing they can't touch.
And it was somebody's pet. This thing doesn't know to get out of the street.
Mm-hmm.
He was doing it a favor. How can that ever be wrong?
Thank you, Virginia.
Well, I think with the, and I think, isn't that technically wrong use of that emoji? Because if you do the hand of the face, it's usually like, I'm hiding my face because I'm embarrassed
I've done
by something I've done. Like, why would you slap your own self in the face or cover up your face if it's somebody else who's done something. Why do you give a shit if,
she's so
Exactly.
she's so embarrassed for my own actions. She's like, oh, I'm
going to have to hide my own face because I'm embarrassed. Yeah, that one does. I think that's improper use of emoji.
I agree.
That's called the emoji police.
All right, I want to answer
Emoji police, improper use of emoji. Because I don't understand that.
She don't need to be
Rationale.
embarrassed for you. You're embarrassed enough for yourself.
Thank you, Virginia.
Tell her to sit down and stop wrongfully using emojis.
I think I gave the wrong emoji, actually. It's the one with the going like this. I can't watch it. There was other ones about this, about other things I've done.
What?
Never mind.
What?
Do you get? Never mind.
Yeah, people get very touchy about the animal stuff. Justin Bieber got blasted by PETA. He bought 2 Savannah kittens. They're exotic cats. And PETA, he dropped like $35,000 on them, which, he's got the money, I guess. Do what you want. But they released a statement chastising his exotic pets purchase, saying how he should have adopted cats from a local shelter.
He didn't want them. He wanted the exotic. You're going to get that.
No, we said no. You can only adopt feral cats from a shelter or cats from a shelter.
Oh, believe me, anytime we talk about animal stuff and possibly getting another animal, Jay-Bird, you better go to a fucking rescue. If not, you're a terrible person, terrible. And I believe in buying rescues and getting rescues.
Justin Bieber said, PETA can suck it. I'll buy whatever I want, is basically what he said in his response.
I agree with him. If he wanted like an exotic cheetah cat, they don't got those at the shelter.
Yeah.
They just don't. And he wanted the exotic cheetah cat. He's a millionaire.
Why you tell me what I can and cannot buy?
He should be allowed to pick his pet.
We're living in strange times.
I know.
Yeah, he said, PETA, why don't you guys focus on things like poaching and animal brutality? He says he supports adopting rescues, but he also believes it's fine if you want to go to a breeder and if you have a preference for an animal to get that. If you have the means, and he has the means, he can assure you to do it.
Side with Bieber. That doesn't happen often.
I know, right?
He said, can't PETA go and focus more on all the plastic in the ocean and leave me and my cats alone?
Oh, he's in it. He's not afraid to clap back on social media.
Good. Sometimes you got to stand up to somebody standing up.
Yeah.
Oh, that is true. Well, there's all these people on their holy hills sitting on their fat ass typing shit on Twitter about how terrible you are. Meanwhile, they're all cheating on their mate, doing all fucking bullshit in their life.
PETA's president fired back. When millions of animals are losing their lives every year because not enough people adopt, choosing instead to shop. The animal overpopulation crisis is the real problem of everything you mentioned there, Mr. Bieber.
Oh, boy. It sounds like that one dude.
Get your priorities straight.
It sounds like the one dude that gets on me on Twitter about anytime I talk about grilled cheese. You're killing cows, Jay-Bird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there you go. Maggie had a question here about the same kind of like thing. I recently moved, and one of my neighbors has a dog, and I'm concerned that they are neglecting him. They leave their dog outside in the backyard for hours during the day, and they don't even leave water out for him.
Aww.
They've even left the dog outside when it was raining. Whenever I'm in the backyard, I can hear this poor dog whimpering and crying because he just wants to go inside and enjoy the cool AC. It breaks my heart that they ignore his cries. My neighbors are a bit sketchy, so I need to tread lightly. They even have a sign on their fence that says trespassers will be shot, and I'm pretty sure they're serious. I don't want to start drama, but I want to help this dog. What would you guys do if you were me?
Call somebody, have them investigate it. They will know who called, have them do a thorough investigation, and then that should get you out of any kind of trouble.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the process is. I could completely understand, a situation like that.
I would wait till they weren't home, and I was sure they weren't home. I would go over there, I would untether the dog, take it, and then give it to a friend that doesn't live anywhere in the neighborhood.
And then they come home. Hey, Virginia, come here. We got cameras. We saw you go in our backyard. Now, here's my gun.
Okay, I do it in a costume, dressed full
buddy costume.
How about McGruff the crime dog?
McGruff the crime dog, that'll
Yes.
work too.
I'd be like, McGruff came over and freed our dog?
Well,
Wait, McGruff stole our dog?
he didn't steal it, he saved it. That's abuse. I'm sorry.
You
They're
can
leaving
call.
the crying dog in the backyard, in the rain, in the sun. They're not putting out water for the dog.
Call animal control. Even call Bush Wildlife. They'll absolutely direct you in the right down the right avenue.
I take care of business myself because I'm not a pussy. I go over there and I get the dog, and I take care of business.
A lot of talk over here from DeQuesta. Getting a little old in her age.
Oh, whatever.
I know you always want to invest there. What are you up to? She's always trying to see what I'm up to. She doesn't even have the heart to even follow me around. I'm calling your ass out.
Yeah.
I'll follow you one of these days. Oh, and you'll be crying.
I don't believe it.
You'll be crying.
I don't believe these fake-ass excuses anymore. You're all DeQuesta now.
You're so easy to eavesdrop. I was eavesdropping on him and Denny's the other day because he took my sandwich. He left here with my sandwich that he had ordered for me and gifted to me. So I had to go over to Denny's to go get it. And they've got like all the windows cracked. So I'm just sitting there at the window listening to him.
We knew you were
yip,
there.
Yap, yip, yap,
We
going
knew
on.
you were there.
You didn't know shit.
We knew you were
Yipping and
there.
yapping.
So talkative.
Yeah.
If I had
Yeah.
a window open that much, I would not be talking.
Well, I don't give a shit. How about that? Listen if you want. I'll tell you to your fucking witch face.
Someone texted in and said that what I do, you need to get photos and documentation and get some stuff and then call animal control to report it. Because, yeah, they'll dance around it. And I don't know exactly what the standards are. That would be kind of interesting before, something can be done. Because I will tell you, there are some people that believe anything aside from your dog having its own bed and getting, ice cubes in its water and things like that is animal abuse. And I remember when I got a dog back in the day, I got him. He was from a working dog family. And their dogs were, outside. And I was like, these dogs don't come inside. And they're going, not all dogs live inside, pussy.
Yeah, no, you're right. There's two different ways of thinking
Yeah.
when it comes to some of these animals.
And I grew up next to people that had hunting dogs.
Yes.
And what they have dog runs, which is like basically this big cage where they keep them in
Yeah.
the backyard.
Yeah.
But there's a bunch of dogs together, and I think that's better than one dog by himself, tethered
Yes.
up with no water in the backyard, no friends to commiserate with. At least the hunting dogs were probably like, this sucks. Yeah, it sucks. But at least we got each other.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, that's I think we put humanized standards on what is great conditions for a dog.
You don't think hunting dogs talk to each other?
And so they may be like going, this is awesome. They may this is great. We got friends and we hang out, and they may not care about some dogs may not care about necessarily being in the AC and having ice cubes in their water. I don't know.
I'm sorry. If I see a crying dog in somebody's backyard.
Yeah, no, that, yeah.
Crying kid or crying dog, I'm always going to try to help.
Without a doubt, they need shelter, they need water, they need some of those things. And I think that's probably where the line is drawn on what they have.
Back at Lake Park, the same thing. There was these 3 dogs, and they were mean dogs. They were Doberman pinchers. And if you were out in the backyard and they wanted to chase your ass down, they would. And they never went in the house. They were always outside in this backyard without a fence. Huh? So you'd be out in your backyard, and all of a sudden you'd see a Doberman pinscher running towards your ass, and you have to run in the house because it would come after you. Chauncey and Tiffany. One was a Rottweiler, one was a Doberman, and then they had some other one named Shetley. And I don't know what the shit that was. I think it was part demon.
Shetley.
People let me know that, yes, the facepalm can be used when someone does something dumb. So you were being trolled correctly.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
There you go.
I don't know. I think it's more like it's you covering your own face with shame. I agree with you, Kevin.
I think if I ever use an emoji, I should cover my face with shame.
You've used an emoji with me before. You do the crying one.
I don't do facepalm.
No.
There are some, I have a certain list. Yeah, I will do like the haha laugh face, but there are just some I just don't feel comfortable using certain emojis, and that's one like I'm not a face palmy kind of like, oh, I can't believe I saw stop on.
Or what
like,
about
yeah,
this
that
one?
one? I can't do that one. That's a cringy emoji for me.
When the girl or guy is doing like, I don't know, kind of they have their shoulders are shrugged, and you might have said something like, hey, I think you want to go out and get some chicken tonight. I don't know.
There's a lot of emojis that you're going to have to tell Kevin about because he don't know about that.
Okay.
He don't know.
Yeah, Kevin's like, hey,
I use like 3 emojis. That's about it, and that's 3 more than I used a year ago.
You're doing good. You're growing.
Yeah, but I can't. If I ever use the facepalm emoji, please come and actually facepalm me. Like, yeah, just. I need that.
I did the new update, not by choice. My phone automatically updated overnight without me signing off on it. Oh, you're supposed to enter your passcode, I thought, and tell it to do it. I did not do that. But now it wants me to create my own personality Bitmoji off of my face.
Oh my gosh, we can do some fun stuff with this.
Ooh, okay.
Is there a witch emoji? There needs to be a.
There is.
There
Yeah.
is?
Yeah, I think there is. Mm-hmm. Maybe don't look for it now because you have to talk, but.
You're right. You're right.
Hold on, I'm going to do
So
it.
hyper focused.
If I ever
over
get
here.
if I ever get really quiet during a segment, that means I'm probably ordering breakfast.
And then it'll just out of nowhere start talking about it.
So, what do you guys think about extra cheese?
Fresh show, sir. Pancakes, Virginia.
I told you no carbs. Damn.
I'll let you know if you love your canines. Somebody on the KVJ Cares, Emma, got a 6-month-old puppy emergency surgery. Cute pup right there.
That dog kind of looks like Hell Yeah, I Love Gary Coleman.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's a sweetie.
Yeah, she's a senior at FAU, and she got the most amazing puppy, Hank. My first dog ever. I rescued him from Tri-County Animal Shelter in Boca in May. He's amazing, but he has fractured both elbows, and he needs like a $5,500 surgery. I don't have that. We want to give our boy the best life possible, so they've got a GoFundMe, which we posted up. We have, when people need a little GoFundMe action sent to us, we have a page on our website. Go to kvjshow.com. It's KVJ Cares, and you can go on there if that's something that speaks to you. You
want to
go
help
check
Hank?
that out.
That's a lot of money.
It is.
Yeah,
$5,000? Over $5,000?
We've also got Rochelle. She's with the Snyder Group, powered by Compass. They're a local real estate company in Jupiter that is taking on the task of collecting costumes for foster children of Place of Hope. So there are about 300 costumes needed. So we would love to give more to underprivileged kids in our community. We have a collection box at 5 Starbucks, located some local gyms. So there you go. So looking for some promotion, of course. So we got that. Not sure exactly where all the gyms are. They've got a couple different places. The Starbucks on Indiantown Road, both Indiantown Roads, Military Trail, and Jupiter Fitness, Indiantown Road. So that's a couple places to go. And that'll be on KVJ Cares. Also, another GoFundMe Ashley sent in, Palm Beach teacher's daughter fighting leukemia. That is going on there. Set up a page to help with medical expenses that insurance does not cover.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that is some tough stuff. So trying to help out people there. So got those at KVJ Cares at kvjshow.com. We got an email here from Arlen. Said, I was listening to the podcast a few days behind. Virginia talking about lying to Mags about there being pork in her food. I remember when I was 6 years old, repeatedly asking my mom, are you sure this is beef? I grew up in Cuba, where parents not only have to lie about what's in the meat, but also what kind of meat it is. She tried to give us horse meat all the time and pass it off as shredded beef.
It's cheaper.
Please don't be offended. I keep in mind cultural differences and necessities are real-life facts. When you live in a third-world country, you make do with what you can. We also had chickens and pigs almost all the time. We would raise as pets. We didn't live on a farm, just a regular apartment in the city, but these were just normal things that happened. It didn't seem strange at the time, but in retrospect, I realize it's a bit bizarre to have just pigs and chickens in your regular in-city apartment.
But it's not bizarre if that's your normal.
No,
it's not.
And everybody, no one can judge your mother on how she did it because moms do what mom's got to do.
That's what I'm saying. If you were raised here in America to always, cockroaches were a delicacy and we all eat cockroaches, there'd be a big population here in America that would love cockroaches. It's just not normal to us. It's gross to us.
Oh, could you imagine eating cockroaches?
I can't. I can't, even if they're covered in
Sometimes
chocolate.
do what you gotta do.
Yeah, if I've been kidnapped and I'm being tortured like 3 months in, I haven't eaten in a while. Yeah, cockroaches will taste great.
Yeah.
But unless then.
I remember as a kid, my mom was an exchange student over to the Netherlands back when she was in high school, and the family she stayed with, he was in the Dutch underground during World War II. And man, you talk about somebody that had some stories, because the Nazis had invaded and taken over the Netherlands.
Oh, wow.
And so he was always running from the Nazis. And he's talking about they had no food, and so they'd eat tulip bulbs. That's how they stayed alive. Just basically eating whatever they could. That was
crazy.
Yeah, he had some stories. I'm like, dang.
Tulip bulbs?
Yeah.
Is he still alive?
No, he's long dead,
Okay.
Virginia.
But sorry.
Yeah,
For your loss.
he would be about 200 now, but
Okay.
so don't worry.
For your loss.
Yeah.
He'd be 200. Kevin's still reeling.
Gone before his time. Taken too soon, Virginia.
He'd be 201 today.
Hitler couldn't get him, but boy, Father Time.
Oh, yeah, gets us
Finally
all.
caught up with him. Hey, if you can dodge Hitler, good for you. Said anyway, she said we'd raise those chickens and pigs, give them names, bond with them, and then one day we'd come home from school, have a delicious chicken dinner, and once we were cleaning up, my mom and dad would say something like, "Oh yeah, by the way, just that Pepito."
Oh.
See, I think that's fucked up.
That was
That
life.
is fucked up.
Yeah.
That happened to my mom too, because they grew up poor, Mexican. At one point, had a dirt floor.
Yeah.
And her grandfather had a bunch of chickens.
Yeah.
She said he would grab them by the neck, fling them around like a lasso above his head, crack them down, and break their necks, and then chop the head off. And sometimes she said they would run around with no head on them.
By the way, Pete is no longer after Bieber.
Don't tell me that fucking shit. That's horrifying.
You finally got Pete off of Bieber.
I don't want to hear that.
That's how my mom grew up.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Her pets.
Down on the farm.
I feel like, okay, I understand if you don't come from a lot of money and you got to do what you got to do to survive. But do you have to make like a whole thing about, oh, you guys are eating your pet? Like make a joke about it? That's what I think is fucked.
Yeah.
Just cook your chicken tenders and not say anything.
I think it's a cycle of pain. I think you were raised that way, so then you turn around, and if you've still got the kids on the farm, you do that to your kids. It's just a cycle.
You try to toughen them up maybe like, this is the way it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just when you're on the farm, there's just some stuff that happens.
You said your aunt had a farm. Was everybody super tough? Is that how it was?
Yeah, no. I mean, you grow up different. Yeah, I mean, it was what was fascinating to me, and this is keep in mind the time period and all that stuff. So I'm going to say something's going to trigger somebody here probably, but what would happen is they wake up, the men would go out and work. They would make a massive breakfast. Like, just listen to their stories, too, when I was a kid. I mean, they'd have biscuits and gravy and salt. I mean, they would have probably about looking at it, probably 2,000 to 3,000 calories for breakfast.
I mean, that's better than friggin' Cracker Barrel right there.
You got Waffles attentions over here.
That was the kind of stuff that they would eat. Like, they would have a massive breakfast, and then they would go out, and then the women would start working on lunch. Right away, they'd clean the dishes for breakfast. They'd start making lunch, and they would come in and they would eat like 6,000-7,000 calories a day, these guys, these farmhands, but they were out there, like they were showing what they would do. It's baling hay and all this kind of stuff and putting in fence posts and man's work, all that stuff I could never do.
If I ate all that biscuits and gravy, the last thing I want to do is go out in the heat and move some
Well, that was
shit.
it. You needed the calories because you had to have all that and these guys were just, I'm telling you, farm boys, because I grew up around it, farm boys were the strongest motherfuckers you'd ever see. Like some of them, I remember when I was in high school, I drove around a Toyota Tercel. I'd take my dad's car, and we'd drive on back roads out in the country, and we'd wind up in a ditch, and I had 4 farm boys that played on the football team, and they could pick the car up out of the ditch.
And eat
They
it.
were the strongest. They good. They really could. I could not believe how I was frail. I was just such a sickly child, compared to these farm boys. They were all like 330 pounds.
But strong.
They could bench press tractors. It was amazing, just the size and the strength these guys had.
And they probably weren't overweight. They probably just were strong.
Yeah, they're just big boys, big motherfuckers. This is crazy. Yeah, so that's just farm living, man. It's a different way of life.
I like the eating part. I don't know about the
Yeah.
lifting.
I could see Jay Bird having the big breakfast and then going laying in the barn on some hay.
Can I work with the women? I want to prepare. I want to help plan lunch.
That's it. Yeah, country living. Yeah, Kentucky John's in there. He said, yeah, most people here in Kentucky are very poor. Most grow their own food. They still burn their trash. Very kind and humble. Yeah, there's a lot of that composting that went on in West Virginia, up in the hills.
You're spoiled down here in Palm Beach, Penny.
No, I know. Shit, I know.
Oh, yeah, they were different. That's why I had to get out of there. I knew I was not tough enough for that region of the world.
I've been to Kentucky before.
I'm too soft.
We drove through there for 10 minutes before we went to Pennsylvania. That's
Yeah.
it. I think we stopped and maybe got some chicken.
Oh, you've been so exposed.
I know. I'm very cultured.
While we're on Twisted Animal Stories, Denise said, could Jaybird tell a little bit more about the night Bella took out Bandit's eyeball? I'm curious to know what they did with no power and where did you go? Whatever happened to the eyeball?
So the eyeball gone. It had to go to the emergency.
Was the eyeball like laying on the floor?
It was,
And
yeah.
if so, who picked it up?
I don't remember who picked it up, but it was complete chaos there. And yes, the emergency, I believe it was my sister. Somebody took it to somewhere, and I guess something was open.
Wow.
Yeah, I guess it must have been because Bella came back with a big old patch on her eye. Just meaner than before.
She's
And
like a pirate now, yeah.
she was so mean. She was such a mean dog.
Well, she was probably in pain.
Yeah.
I think it was one of those things where it went from kind of like how the Joker probably, but you're down and out in life
Bella
anyway.
as the Joker.
And then the one last thing pushed you over the edge, and I think it was the eyeball thing. Because Bandit, the one that attacked her, was one of the sweetest souls ever. Bandit had snapped. Bella kept on gnawing at Bandit, trying to bite its foot, and then Bandit was a pretty big-sized dog. It just said, nope, fuck you. And then, grabbed it with its mouth. And
We all got our breaking point.
It was horrific. Ann and my mom did not deal with that good.
I can't imagine the chaos, the blood.
It was rough.
Screaming.
It was rough.
Ugh.
And a good dog story. There's a story that's going around today about a dog that survived in the rubble of the Bahamas after Hurricane Dorian
I
for
saw
weeks.
that.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a good story. Yeah, Big Dog Ranch has stepped in. Their rescue team managed to find the dog buried under an air conditioning unit in Marsh Harbor.
See, that kind of story would make me cry probably. If I saw it, they show the dog running.
Yeah, they got the dog, though, trapped for over 3 weeks. They're going to nurse him back to health. So
They were
that's kinda
feeding
cool.
him dog food when they found him, and he was just like,
He's
was so
He
sweet.
probably couldn't believe that he got found.
right.
Yeah, they say they've saved 138 dogs from the Bahamas
Wow.
since going in there. So
You don't even think of that stuff. You're thinking about the people, but then you have all those animals running.
Sure.
You're right.
Yeah, that's why they're like, you guys worry about the people. We'll go and get the dogs. So that's cool. They got a great, they're such a great group.
I love those because I've heard of those stories before. There was another one where I think it was a tornado and everything was destroyed. They thought the dog was gone, and then 3 or 4 days later, the dog runs up and the cameras were rolling and they caught the whole thing. And it was it was pretty good. Mm-hmm. And they found out the dog was an actor. None of it was real.
Yes.
It wasn't even their dog.
Couple comments about the Joker. Eliana said Keith and Joaquin both have created legendary Joker characters, but they are both very different Jokers. I personally don't think they can be compared. They are mind-blowing in their own way. And, some other email said the same thing. You can't really compare them. Different stories. This was a progression of someone being pushed to break. So I guess apparently you have to compartmentalize, and you can't necessarily compare the performances of Joaquin and Heath Ledger. But we are anyway.
That's what we do.
That's
of course,
what we
everyone's
do.
going to do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, if you play the same character as another dude that played it really well, I mean, it's the human condition. We can't help but compare.
Well, we compare Kevin Ralston to Kevin Sinicki all the time.
Yes, you're right. It's not necessarily fair to either one.
Both different Kevins.
Yeah, you're right. I got to look at these Kevins take a lot of my eye time.
You have a lot of
they
Kevin
do.
in your
I
life.
do.
Yeah, just can't get away from Kevin's.
A lot.
Everywhere. On our Twitter poll, Heath Ledger's got 73% of the vote. Jack Nicholson was 16% and Joaquin Phoenix with 11.
Okay.
Okay, so there you go. Want to vote? You can go onto our Twitter, KVJ Show, and check it out. All right, y'all, enjoy the rest of your Monday. We'll talk to you later. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.